Today, we've got such a great show for you, so I want to jump right in. My first guest is Alisyn Camerota. She's the anchor at New Day on CNN, where she wakes up very early in the morning to give you all the news, the latest and the greatest. But her biggest accomplishment, believe it or not, is being a mom to 3 amazing kids, and her struggle to have a family was not so easy.
As the co-anchor on CNN's morning show New Day, Alisyn Camerota wakes up at 3 a.m. and spends the next few hours immersed in the day's breaking news, so she's ready to go live at 6 a.m. Alisyn is no stranger to hard work. She got her start with Ted Koppel as a young journalist in Washington, D.C., and had a remarkable 16-year run at Fox News before joining CNN in 2014. But while her career was climbing higher and higher, Alisyn's dream of being a mom seemed further away. Alisyn was struggling with infertility. She and her husband tried various treatments to get pregnant, including IVF, which resulted in 2 pregnancies and 2 miscarriages. It was a heartbreaking process that left Alisyn feeling very isolated. Finally, her wish to become a mom came true when her 4th round of IVF resulted in a successful pregnancy. Alisyn gave birth to twin girls, Alessandra and Francesca. Her son, Nathaniel, followed just a short time afterward. Alisyn credits several factors that helped her in her journey to become a mom, but says her secret weapon in all of this was the way she learned to cope with the feeling of isolation that was life-changing.
Hey, Alisyn, it's so great to see you. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Dr. Ian, great to see you.
Well, first of all, let me start. I remember actually when you first came to CNN, and I heard you were at Fox for so long, so I said to myself, okay, how's this going to work? And you have been absolutely spectacular. I love watching you in the morning, and I know it's an early show. So first of all, how do you manage this very early hour that you get up and get your routine together?
Well, I appreciate you recognizing that. It is not easy. Every single morning, without fail, when my alarm goes off at 3 a.m., I'm shocked. I have a moment where I go, what is that racket? Who's making that noise? And then I literally realize it's my alarm. And I stagger to the shower, and I put on some sweats, and I go into work. And that hour between getting in the car at 3:30 or 3:45 till 4:45 is my busiest one of the morning, because I'm cramming for the exam. You know, I'm reading so much research. I'm looking at transcripts. I'm trying to get stats and figures. I'm communicating with my producer, who's already in the studio for 2 hours before me. I'm preparing for all of the 9 interviews that I'll be doing. So it's very intense. And then, you know, the red light goes on at 6 a.m. and it's off to the races.
So not only are you a mom and a wife and a big-time anchor, but you're also an author. You wrote a book that came out a few years ago called Amanda Wakes Up, and a little birdie tells me that it's about to be optioned to be turned into a TV show.
I mean, the ink isn't exactly dry yet, but it seems like it's happening, and that is super exciting. So, you know, I've always thought that if you peel back the curtain on TV news and morning news, that the audience would really like to see what happens during the commercial breaks. Yes. Because there's a lot that happens with your co-anchor, with your crew, that's funny or absurd or crazy during the commercial breaks. And so that's why, you know, part of why I wrote it was just to show everybody what goes on behind the scenes and all of the different relationships and the pressures and the ethical dilemmas. You know, being a journalist right now is obviously not easy, and I just kind of wanted to show the viewer more about that.
And you're holding virtual cocktail parties online. How does that work, and what do you like to drink?
Well, this came out of quarantining. You know, this came out of when, you know, towns were shutting down restaurants and bars and businesses, and we were all told to kind of hunker down. I still wanted to connect. You know, I really miss seeing my friends. I really miss being able to go out with the girls for a drink. And so it was just sort of born of that I wanted to still be able to have some of those conversations. And, you know, what better way than with a cocktail? So I mean, look, I'm an equal opportunity cocktail imbiber. I like wine. I like you know, vodka, but I would say tequila is my go-to right now. Ever since I learned that it's a stimulant, that seems right for a morning.